Hello world, hello YouTube, hello Flosstube. My name is Mia and this is Missing in a Stitch. Welcome, welcome all, even if you just found me or dropping by or maybe a subscriber. Thank you very much for coming and thank you for all my new subscribers. It's been really nice to see those low numbers go up, but my idea of having a floss tube is to sort of like keep a journal on my stitching journey. Also, it's nice to share and show other people what I have been able to do. And maybe for the future generations, people behind me, my kids, my grandkids, well, one of them at the moment, and maybe friends and friends near and far are able to see what my hands create. Of course, by the wonderful help of all the wonderful designers and fabric makers and floss makers and needle makers and all the stuff that we use to create beautiful art on fabric. So welcome. Today is, I was going to say January, February 2nd. No? Yes, Monday, February 2nd. I have to check. Yeah. And I was supposed to be on yesterday, but I had a date with a doctor and a few nurses and I got some IV medication. I had quite a hectic few days of pain and needed some relief. I'm just checking that my tablets is running low on energy, so it needed to be plugged in. So, welcome to my second floss tube of the year 2026. If I remember correctly, it's number 16. And I'm actually keeping up with well, almost keeping up. But yesterday was, I just couldn't help it. The pain and getting relief for it, that was good. Yes, so I have notes. I wonder where I put them. I just had them. Oh dear me. Yeah, me in my head. No. Oh my gosh. Because I really need them. Floss tube. Yeah. Here we are. So, first of all, from my last floss tube, I showed you a start. I told you about a start, and then I showed you a start, and what I told you was not what I showed you, but it's in the pile here, so I just sort of like have to remind myself that hey, you blew it last time, so try to do it right this time. Okay, life happens, brains are not always up to it. Yes, so shall we start with Flosstuber Frenzy? So the people who I will be, the Flosstubers who I will be linking into this video will not have to wait. Yes, and starting with Jen, the caffeinated crafter. I have Villa Mirabilia as her whip, and I have seen Jen 3 times since. Okay, this floss tube is from the 15th to the 31st of January. So that's 16, 17 days. And during that time, Jen had 3 floss tubes, and I got 748 stitches into Villa Mirabilia. While she was talking about, I'm sorry, I forgot to open the zips. I apologize. Yes. While Jen was showing her whips, I was stitching on her whip. And this is Mirabilia is what I am stitching for her. And I have been stitching down here. I've been doing whatever this part is called. This fabric that has these blue and purple shades. This is what I have been stitching on for the whole month of January. But in the 3 floss tubes that she has had, it's nice because she has long ones. So you get stitches in while watching, because I'm doing the duration. So 748. I apologize, words are hard today. Yes, and I have a hanging thread. So before Flosstuber Frenzy, I had this bottom part done, and I had this I've done a few stitches in here, but that was done before. And what I have on the second half of January, I've been stitching going up this veil trail, whatever it's called in English. Yeah, so that is what Jen has, what's the word in English, made possible for me to stitch. And I need to put these back in because I didn't do it like last time. Yes, so that was Jen. Thank you, Jen, very much for the company. Then the next one is Sharon, and she is fun with cross stitch. She has had 2 floss tubes on the 21st and the 28th. And I got 306 stitches. During those 2 floss tubes in. I have been stitching this is Faye Whittaker's All of Our Yesterdays. All of Our Yesterdays sampler with these cute little children. This has been started in 2012, January 21st. And before Flosstuber Frenzy, I had these 2 girls down here. And then I had the text, and this boy is partially done. This boy has something done. These girls are missing completely. But I've been focusing on him, except that this time I decided there was one color in the hat I was missing from him and him and him. So I stitched all the hats with that certain color. But it was 306 stitches. And I wonder if this is too see-through fabric, because it's stitched on linen 2/2 full cross, except for the text is back stitching. But his hat is now complete. I did quite a bit of his shirt and a bit of his skin. Then I jumped up here to fill in that one color of the straw color of the hat, and then he got also that same color. So all the hats are, except for his hat is missing something. So is his, but anyhow, one color of all hats is done. Yes, so this is, it hasn't got a lot to go, but I hope to get it done. I am aiming to get this done with by Sharon's help on her Flosstube. Excuse me. And I will have it ready in 2026, only what, 14 years after it started. But that's okay, that's okay. I showed my bags long time ago, but this happy seaside is in a bag with snails. Then we had Kelly from Kel's Stitches. Her whip is Summer Fairy Spirit, which is designed by Laura Lattuada from Passione, Ricamo, and that's how I pronounce it. An Italian company in Europe. And Kelly had one Flosstube, and I got 364 stitches into this beautiful lady. This is not so easy to show because this is Summer Fairy Spirits. I really like these. She has a fairy for every season. And then she has a Moon Fairy Spirit also that I have stitched. But I've been in this whitish, light bluish area here, going sort of like where I have not stitched yet. So it's maybe this area is actually, I'll show the whole thing, but this is where I have been adding this lighter blue. Then it goes into the bodice also up here, and a bit of yeah, I've just been doing 2 shades of the lightest blues, filling in where it needs to be filled in. And this is what she looks like at the moment. So I have obviously started from the bottom and going up towards her head. I have sort of like until the leaves or somewhere here is there are the beads. Some are missing, but the beads and the specialty floss, this bling floss here, have been stitched in. So it's like from the branch down, I would say she's ready, but then there's a lot to go on the top. But this also is a wonderful piece to stitch. I remember when I saw these designs, can't remember where anymore. Guess it was the internet. I really like most of her designs. And but I think I have a few of her designs, but will I ever stitch them? That remains. But I will get this forward a great deal by the help of Kelly and Kel Stitches. So thank you, Kelly, for that. And then this was the third one. Then Narelle from Simply Narelle. I have her squirrels for her. She had a Flosstube on the 19th. I got 196 stitches in, but she also had a Flosstube today for February. And since the Olympics are coming in, I needed to get her stitches in before I start concentrating on the Olympics. So Norelle's squirrels have a bit more than everybody else because they had the first one for February in already. So I've been stitching on this squirrel here. And how many stitches did I get in today? 160, no, 153. So it's a bit into February, but 196 plus 153, that's something. My brain isn't in counting mode. Can you see, or do I need my board? Which I put where? Here. Yep. Is this the right way around? Nope. It's this way around. So here it is. This is oh. Did I show it? My brain. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's a Riolis kit. That's what I was looking for. And this has the wool acrylic floss. That's not good for my eyes because it's, yeah. Anyhow, here's the hand, and there's the eyes, and here's one ear, or part of it. And there's the mouth. What I did now was stitch, or the last, in January. In January, I stitched the arm, and now I got this area above the arm stitched. It's like one or two shades of brown. Yeah. I can see the squirrel in there. I'm not sure if anybody else can yet. But thank you, Narelle, for the company. I know you love your squirrels, so it was nice to at least to get one whip sort of like in the right place with the right person. Then we go on to Up and Away. Julie. Silver stitches, Sylver stitches. She had a Flosstube in January, the latter part of January on the 26th, and I got 362 stitches in. The reason for this is that the chart that I'm stitching for her is on 14 count, and it's a good block stitching. And since it's 14 count and just it was one color, so it was so easy to hand stitch the sewing method, and that's really fast when you sort of like, okay, you have to sort of like count, but it's so much easier than confetti, for example. Yes, and this is where Up and Away is. And what I have been stitching is this area. It does have 2 shades of blue, but it's once you get them on the needle, it's just you have a Speedy Gonzales needle going on. It won't be that quick with the actual balloon, or once I get down to the clouds and the ground and the trees. So I'm just enjoying getting a lot of stitches in a short time, now that it's possible with blue sky. And yes, thank you, Julie, for keeping me company. Actually, yeah, Julie also had a Flosstube in February. And for the same reason, the Olympics starting on Friday, I needed to get the stitches done so that I can concentrate on my Olympic stitching and watching. So this also does have the stitches for this month, or the beginning of the month. So this also has sort of like a bit more than what it would have had I done the video yesterday. But I couldn't because I was in the ER. Yeah. Anyhow, the sky is nice and blue. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the stitching. The stitching in hand also every now and then is nice. I mainly stitch in frames, two-handed, but anyhow. That was Flosstuber Frenzy number, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I have Nessa. And Nessa is stitching with Nessa. She had her first Flosstube on the 22nd of January. And I got 138 stitches into her whip, which is there's a stitching company. I'm not sure if it's Finnish or Swedish, or if they're doing some kind of a collaboration or something. Anyhow, it's called Atelje Margaretha. And they do kits. I do think they sell floss, but I'm not sure if they sell charts. Well, anyhow, I bought this kit from a friend of mine at our stitchy weekend last year. I just needed, I had forgotten something home and I needed something quick and nice and easy to stitch. So it was nice to get a kit. I didn't have to think about, do I have the floss? Do I have this? Do I have that? I just had it and started stitching. Well, I didn't get much stitched in that time that we were at the weekend, but this is a good chart to stitch, because what I had decided is that for my Flosstuber Frenzy, I'm picking charts or whips that have paper charts, no matter if they're kits or if they're if they have been kits or just a chart, just as long as it's a paper chart. Because I have quite a few, and quite a few of them are from since before prehistory of my stitching life. Yeah, sort of like the oldies, I call them. So I want to get progress into them, but this one is just as good. So I call this the garden bench because these don't have actual names. I don't know if they even have numbers. Yes, they do. 90167A is what that is called. Which way do I show? Where did I? Yeah, I'm gonna lose my brains one day. And here is what Nessa's piece looks like now. I have been stitching in the greens and the flowers that are in this watering can. This I had stitched earlier, and yeah. Well, Nessa has had one floss tube this year. One floss tube in January, and it was where 108 stitches, because this is one green here, one green there, one green here, one green there, one green. It's not confetti, but it's just, yeah, it's, I don't know how to say it. I don't, yeah, it's not confetti. It's just that the stitches, a certain color is spaced away from each other. So it takes time to find them, and you don't want to change the color. You want to sort of like, I'll do that area. Oh, there's one. Oh, there's one. Oh, there's one. And then with paper charts, compared to sort of like a program maybe that will show you that, hey, here's one, there's one, there's one. You actually have to look for them in the paper chart to get them all stitched. But this is Garden Bench. Thank you, Nessa, for keeping me company. And with that, my Flosstuber Frenzy is over for the second part of January. We will be back. We will be back on the 15th. Let's see how much Flosstube Frenzy or what stitching I will have, because it's gonna be the Olympic time. Yes. And this is where all my Flosstubers stay. So I have been stitching on something else than just Flosstuber Frenzy. For the latter part, since 15th to the 31st, I have 1 start, 2 finishes. In all, I have stitched on 20 whips. Yeah. So my focus piece, Love Me Not, that has been started in 2009, says my eldest daughter, because she remembers. She has a better brain than I do. In the past 2 weeks, I stitched 6,947 stitches into it. In January, I stitched 12,773 stitches in Love Me Not, because that has been my focus piece, and I want to get it ready 28th February 26. It's been waiting long enough. Love Me Not is a chart by Heaven and Earth Designs. It is art by Selena Finch, who is retired. And it's an angel. So this is what my daughter chose in 2009 when she's been 18. So now that she's 34, she's finally getting it. Okay, maybe I need to do just a teensy-wincy bit more. So I've been stitching a lot on the legs in January. But this is a beautiful piece. And not much left to go. There are the flower petals under her feet. And actually this sort of like the bottom of her feet. Okay, she's kneeling on the ground, but where her feet touch the ground, there are a lot of petals. That's why it's so sort of like broken, the bottom part. There will be a lot of light gray and white and white and white, because there's 3A65 and then there's B5200 and then there's white and then there's 415, and so a lot of light colors yet to come. I have 6,923 stitches left to do, and I have 26 days, if I don't come today, to get it done. And I don't care if I don't get anything else stitched. This is going to get finished this month. Yes. I need about 225 stitches a day. But if I stitch 500, then it will be ready in 12, 14 days-ish. That is Love Me Not, and I really love this piece, but I'm not stitching it for myself. Nope, not doing it twice. Then, what did I have in my plans? Glamorous3. Glamorous3 had sort of like a 2-3, no. I have 3 pieces in Glamorous3. 2 got finished, 1 got, I just I've written, I've just meh. I just, I don't know. Yeah, I just couldn't, yeah. So, but finish 1 and 2. Where are you? I thought I had them right here, but they're right here. Okay, let's take the whole thing. So, the first one that got finished is Seagull Feather. Seagull Feather got 557 stitches on the latter part of January. I got it finished on the 21st of January. And this whole piece is 4,225 stitches, and that's just about 100%. And I've got the back stitching done, which is yay! I didn't wait for 17 years to get them done. Yes, this is Seagull Feather. I do not remember because the designer is Ukrainian, Russian. But thank you, Laura I Stitch Birds, for this wonderful chart. She sent me a few seagull charts, and this is, I think this is the last one that I've got done now. Then Carolyn Manning was the other finish that I got, and this is Garden Gnomes. And Garden Gnomes, I need my notes. Was finished on the 29th of January. Even the back stitching is done. And in January, the latter part of January, it got 576 stitches. And in total, it has 5,442 stitches plus back stitching because I don't count back stitching. And it's ready. But then we have the third glamorous3, which is Moomin by the Sea. And I think my problem here was that this just had too much blue. I do not know why I picked a blue hand-dyed fabric to stitch with blue, but I did. And now it's going on a vacation. And I will pick it up sometime later. I do want it ready. Do I have a picture of it? Yes, I do. Just a moment. This is by Green Terrace, which you can find on Etsy, I think. No, does she had her own? But this is. I'll just dim that a bit so that you might be able to see. This is what he will look like once ready. The colors are now off completely, but even he has a seagull. Yeah. So that was my glamorous3, and they are changing for February because I have 2 out of 3 stitched. So I took and changed all of them because I just sort of like got burned out with blue. But talking about getting stuff ready, I do have a third one, and this is sort of like, it was almost a SAF. But I can't remember the dates unless I've written them here. No, I haven't. I don't have any information of this. Yay me. In the Finnish cross stitch group on Facebook, somebody showed that, hey, there's a freebie. I was like, yay, that looks nice. Yay, I'm gonna stitch it. I had a wonderful piece of linen. What is this called? You know, when you have the sides, you don't have to do anything except for the ends. Linen band. Yes, that's what they call it. There's a bird and 3 flowers and a frame. So I started it on one day and then I got it finished the next day. I did change the colors of the flowers. I think this was the original. No, it wasn't. I actually don't know what the originals are. I started doing a pink one. And then I realized that actually I could give this to my mum on Mother's Day in May here in Finland. And she likes, her favorite color is purple. So then I did a darker purple and a lighter purple flower. And then, of course, actually, this is a brown heart, but it looks rather red. So the bird and the leaves and the frame and the heart are called for colors. Otherwise, it's I have to go and dig out. Do I have it in Pattern Keeper? Or did I chuck it away already? It did go into Pattern Keeper, but it didn't give you the colors, so you didn't get the stitch count, and it didn't tell you which is what color. Yeah, I don't, but maybe I can find it from my Google Sheets. Just a moment, so that I can tell you what the name is, and I don't even remember. Oh no. I have no information. Okay. I can find it from our group, so I will put the information if somebody wants to go and find this freebie and stitch it. So yeah, I'll find the information and put it into the box down below. But this was my actually this was my official first finish of the year. And then the seagull and then the gnomes. And as if that was all, biathlon stitching for the ladies. I have been stitching. So every time there's been a biathlon competition, I have stitched on a whip called Starry Night. This is done on some kind of linen. I guess it's 28 2/2. Started in ancient history, and in the latter part of January, I got 579 stitches into the whip while watching the women's biathlon competitions. And here is where I am with it. I started this in December when the biathlon season started. So I have been stitching on this for a couple of months. What I did have before the biathlon, I had this the biggest snowman. He did not have his hat, and he did not have all of his scarf. And then there was this this little one here in between was stitched also, but everything else has been done during the biathlon season. And there is a fifth one coming up here, so I'm not sure I will get this done during this biathlon season, but if I don't leave it for the... If I don't get ready, I'm not sure if I'm going to leave it to wait for another biathlon year, or will I stitch it, because, yeah, I don't think there's that much to do anymore. Well, there's one full. This snowman is missing completely. And then the mother has, I'm saying this is the mother. She has her head and a bit of a color in her cardigan, and yeah, and the dad's face is missing a few stitches, and of course the stars. But I guess those will be quite fast to do. But this is my women's biathlon competition stitching. Then for the men, I won a chart some time ago, well, before the biathlon season started, on Siska's Facebook group, Siska Stitches. I could choose a chart, and I chose Rose Catherine Kahn, The Six Portals, Glowstone City, by... whose is this? I can't read. Pain Free Crafts, yep. And you could choose just one of the portals, which is fine. I would never stitch all the six. But this is the purple one that I chose. And this is the one that I've been stitching. Stitching the men's biathlon. So the latter part of January, with the men's competitions. And if I remember correct, I might be missing one competition, but not going back there. Anyhow, 9-5. Okay. Do I need to take my glasses to see my numbers correctly? On the six portals, Glowstone City, I have stitched 9,999 stitches. And since this is a calculated chart, it's in Pattern Keeper, I am at the moment at 2,531 stitches. And here is where all those stitches are. I dropped down with one color and stitched all this because it was just that one color, and it was nice to stitch one color. There is not that much confetti here, I don't think so. But it's nice every now and then just to stitch an area with one color. I don't mind confetti stitching because that brings out quite a lot of life. But I do not mind, by no means, I do not mind stitching up. So that was biathlon stitching. And guess what? I'm not finished. Then we have, there's some salves going on. I don't know if you've heard anything. Salve, stitch along or start along. Hade, Heaven and Earth Designs. It's closed The next one, if they will do one in 27, will open, I think, in November. But this one is done and dusted. So I chose the Wise and the Brave. I've got 641 stitches into it, and I'm at 1,509 stitches. And and I cropped it because I don't want to stitch the tree and all of the background. Yeah. So this is my start of the sal. So which means since they gave us the Amy Stewart exclusive, they took away the day, the one page I wanted to stitch, but I thought I'd stitch anyhow. I'm not taking any stress with it. I'm just, when I feel like it, I put in a few stitches. And this is somewhere behind, and here is the robin's head top. Yeah. I have not told you anything about fabric, so I don't think I'm going to. But this is stitched on hard on 20 count, I think it looks so. So what? I don't know the word in English. Then no, that's not that. Then the other sal is TCSS, the Cross Stitch Studio mystery sal. We have received 3 parts. Each part has about 3,500 stitches. I am no way up to it. I'm just also doing this. Yeah. I stitch it on it every 2 weeks a bit. But I'm not stressing. So it's got black in it. And I can't show you a picture because we don't have it. No, actually, we do. But when you get it into Pattern Keeper, it gives you only that part that you're stitching. So I can show the mock-up of the parts, except that this is not a good mock-up because it pixelates it. Ah, yeah. Can you see anything wise? That is the first part. No, not showing you the chart. And this is the second part. And for some reason, I have been only stitching black because there's quite a lot of it. And I just felt that, yeah, I'm not stitching enough black in any other pieces. Yeah, so I needed to stitch black on this. But this is my start on the mystery sal from the Cross Stitch Studio. And I have 994 stitches in. And I have no idea. Yes, I do, but I can't remember it out by heart. How many stitches it? I can't even remember the size. 300 and something by 300 and something. Yeah. So that's that. Sal. Then full coverage fanatics, if anybody's heard, is having all kinds of challenges. I'm taking part in 2. The first one is 26,000 stitches in 26. And what better way to do it than stitch first like 19,939s. I think it's somewhere there that I've got 19,939s on this. Let's see if I'll do them completely or because they're just sort of like on the upper part of this chart. This is called Ta-da! It is by Randall Spangler, charted by Hayde. Heaven and Earth Designs. Where are you? Ta-da! And this is just the cutest dragon with his orchestra and everything, almost everything that's dark behind is 939. So I'm going for that, and then I'll see what else I will need into the 26,000. And I will start concentrating on that 26,000 once I've got my angel done for my firstborn. But this is that one. 26,000 in 26. Then the other challenge that I'm taking part in is a finish on a full coverage. And that is also a Randall Spangler. Yay, with a lot of hanging threads. And this I have to show you because yeah, I was supposed to take it open, but I forgot because my this past weekend with the extremely horrible pain just took every bit of sense out of my head. But this is where I am. I'm actually at his nose going down. So I've got like, I would say 2/3 done. I've got 12,000-ish stitches to do on this to get it ready. And here is where he is. Oh, this looks so good stitched. It's so much better than the picture. And it's a skinny one. It's 72 wide or 75 wide, and it's 420 high. So it's a skinny one. Yeah, and I'm so happy. This scroll frame is just perfect for this one. It's not too big. It's not too small. It's just perfect for stitching a skinny one like this. Yes. Then, anyhow, I still have something small to show you. So, Whip-Go. I didn't have anything to stitch for Whip-Go for the latter half of January because I had done mine in the first 2 weeks. But the next ones, yeah, the next ones. This is this got cold again. Did it? Yes. So this is mini Magic City with books. It's art is Michelle Sayeta and she's charted it too. I cropped off a bit. I took off. Did I take off 40, 50 rows from the top? Because I didn't want to stitch the sky. But this is what it will look like once ready. So I've cropped it off so that there are a few lines above that round thingy on the roof. And then Then I took, I think, 20 from this side. And that's what I'm stitching. So this will get 500 stitches in February, like what I'm doing on all my whip goals. And then what's my other whip goal? My other whip goal is, what's this? It's also a Hade. Art is Arden Ellen Nixon. And this is a lion. Wondering, what is this? It's sort of like got the same vibe that we've had for the we've got a bit of snow, but I think here in Europe we've had more of cold, or at least here in Northern Europe, we've had more of cold than snow. They gave all the snow across the pond to the States, and we're getting the cold weather, and the southern hemisphere, well, at least here and there, they're getting the heat. Yeah, so this is my second one, and this will also get 500 stitches in February. I was gonna say May. And I had just started in the sky in the top right. This is like 40 by, no, what, 10, 20, 30, 50 by 100 area. And it's not completely filled in. But this will get 500 stitches also for the whip go. And I truly hope to get them done this week so that by the time the Olympics start on the 6th, which is actually Friday. So this tomorrow and that on Wednesday. Yeah. But then I need to stitch on the angel too. So, do I have something else to show you? Yes, I do. Because I've had time. After all this that has been sort of like told in advance what I'm gonna do. Yes. Then we need to go to that thingy that I said that I showed you wrong. What is this? Oh, there's a needle. Okay. And a thread. So, last time I told you that I have a new start. That I've stitched 498 stitches, that I'm at 1.33%. And then I showed you this. This is 204 stitches. And this had nothing to do with my new start. This was a new start before 2026. This is the what is it? The Amy Stewart exclusive that we got. Yeah, I did start that, but that was in December. What I actually did start in January was African Giants. On January, I can't see. On January 11th, this is by, I have to go check whose this is. It's charted by Artisy, but who's the artist? I just had to have this, you know. This is African Giants Crop. adapted from artwork by Fuzz Caforio. And I have seen this in real life. Maybe not exactly this picture, this setting, but I have seen Mount Kilimanjaro and in front of it an African elephant. So how could I not want to stitch it since I found it? That is Mount Kilimanjaro behind there, and that is an African bull elephant. Do you know that if you go close enough with a car and it starts charging, you need to go fast? Okay, that has nothing to do with cross stitching, but just in case you ever happen to be in that kind of a situation. This is my start. I started with the sky. And this is the width. It is 181, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 186 by something. It fits into this if you choose 20 count. Easy gridded Ada to stitch on. It's not going to be a big one. It has this really is a small one. It's 37,000 stitches only. So, and I am at 1.35% done. Yay! Could we call it a milestone? One is gone. Yeah, but this was what I was supposed to show you. And then I showed you something else. Then summer landscape. Can I find you somewhere here? Here. This is the other one that I just had to have because this also takes me back to Kenya. I think I got like, how many stitches did I get into? 112, because I needed 100 stitches into something, into a whip that started with S. Summer. What? Summer landscape. And this is the scene from Mombasa, or at least I doubt this actual picture is from Mombasa, but I can easily take myself to Mombasa with this scene. I'm sorry. A bit bigger. Yeah. So going to Mombasa and then taking a guided tour into the wild African nature and see that elephant in front of Mount Kilimanjaro, which is in Tanzania, but you can see it from Kenya. It's that close to the border. What a vacation. I just need to be able to go there, have the finance, be able to fly. Yeah. So we're still in Africa. And this time we have a baby zebra who has a lot of hair. Baby zebra got 173 stitches in and is at 2,559 stitches. And it's actually at 40.59%. Yes, and then the last one I want to actually to. I had chosen Flosstuber Frenzy. I had 7, and my 7th Flosstuber is Laura. I stitch birds, and I had chosen her Fox that I have been stitching for also a good while. And she had a video out and a Flosstube out, and it was 3 hours 40 minutes or something like that. This is what I chose. This I have also started in ancient history, and it's still not ready. But then I realized while I was trying to watch and listen to Laura and stitch on this piece, which is really wonderful, but this is dreadful to stitch and listen and try to follow, and I just couldn't do it. I've been coming up this way, and I thought that if I stitch almost 4 hours in this area where I really, really, really have to, from the paper chart, to concentrate. No, that's not number 3. That's the M. So I don't stitch that, but there's a 3 there, and oh there. Okay, the M, and then the M might be sideways, which I just couldn't do it. So I gave up. I gave up. I'm sorry, Laura. That doesn't mean that I won't do it. I just have to concentrate only on this. And then I might go up to an area where it's a bit more full, and there's not, okay, there isn't that much color changes here either. But the sides, you've got a 3, and then you've got an M on the sides, and then you've got an M that's standing up normal, and then they're all gray colored on the paper, and yeah, and my ADHD ran out of the room. Yeah, so then I just sat and watched your Flosstube, Laura. Thank you for the company. Yeah, and during this past weekend, yeah, so that was my last one. Just a bit of the life update from the past weekend, which was dreadful. Uh, I had quite a stressful and anxiety-packed conversation with a woman from the adult social thingy-majiggy, whatever they were. Just they were calling because of me, and they were asking about my parents. Well, my parents are 83 and 84. My mom's had cancer for her. She's going on her 8th year. And my dad has been diagnosed with dementia last year, and he's going quite fast. His memory, that is. So yeah, but anyhow, the social worker was just nagging and nagging and nagging on one topic for half an hour, and I blew it. I got an anxiety attack. That is, I blew it, which turned out to be a massive, massive headache, which turned out into a massive and extremely painful migraine that lasted for 3 days. I couldn't sleep. I was a zombie. And finally, on Sunday morning, I called my mum. I knew she couldn't sort of like do anything because they don't have a car. But you just call your mum. It was rather sort of like anyhow, the headache, I couldn't even move. It hurt so much. And I went to the ER, and I was so happy that they really listened to what I had to say, and they took me seriously. I have had a doctor say that you don't come here with a headache, but this time they just understood that I'm in horrific pain, and the doctor sent me to a brain scan. He was worried with all my other illnesses that I have. I've got a bad heart and all kind of thingies. He wanted to make sure that I'm not having any I don't know what it's called in English, but when your veins in your brain starts bleeding into the brain. He wanted to make sure that that's not the case, that it really is just a migraine, even though it was a horrific migraine. So everything's okay. This is official. I have been scanned, and the doctor has said that my brain is in condition, in good condition. So yeah. Well, that was sort of like, yay, something's good in my body. Yeah, and I got they gave me three different medications straight into my veins, and then I got something into my mouth, and after 4 hours of being heavily medicated, I stopped having my horrific headache. And yeah, it's something I wouldn't even wish for my worst enemy. It was terrible. Thanks to my mum for calling my brother to take me to the hospital, to the ER. Thank you to the doctors and nurses there who helped me, and they really made my day. But that was I've never felt pain like that. It was horrific. But here I am, pain-free and happy to go forward. Thank you for your company. Thank you for coming to visit me, and I hope you liked what you saw. I am so happy that new people have found me. It's I am also happy of everyone who comes and have been with my journey from whenever you have found me. It's all of you count. It's every one of you makes my day by popping in and spending time with me. So thank you so much. I will be back on the 15th. I hope I have uh, a bit less to show because the Olympics are on, and anybody who knows me knows that I love watching sports on TV. So I will be stitching and watching and watching and stitching and then I'll come and report. I promise I will not overburden you with all the sports. And I hope you too might enjoy watching the Winter Olympics, and it's just fine if you don't. But thank you so much. And actually, if you wouldn't mind, I would love to hear if you're going to take part somehow in the Winter Olympics. Are you doing a challenge maybe, or are you just nah? Or or do you have plans for the Winter Olympics? It's only once every 4 years. Thank you. See you on the 15th. Bye.